everyone. Welcome back to another episode with Pontificating. I am Kioma. I am back. I was on my little hiatus. You know what I'm saying? I heard some of y'all thought they Destiny Child me, but I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I was just going through some things. Now I'm back. And so this week we will be talking about gender roles. It's gonna get a little spicy, gonna get a little saucy. But yeah, we're just gonna dive right into it. And we're gonna start with Asia.
Excuse me. As Ty always says, I'm like the most southern Christian woman who is neither southern nor Christian.
In the Bronx.
From the Bronx. Because I really do lean in. I do. But here's my thing about gender roles. I think if you enjoy them, it's okay to lean into them. Like, I enjoy cooking. So I would cook for my family if I had one. I would cook. If it was an obligation, I would completely resist. But it's something that brings me joy. So I would do it. I love playing homemaker. I like throwing little parties. You know, in my dream world, I'd be a Stepford wife. But what comes with that is a Stepford husband. And I think that is what goes wrong with these men today. And this idea of like, listen, if I'm keeping the house, you got to keep the outside the house. You have to have a very good job, because this is now my job. I'm going to maybe raise these kids. I'm gonna get a nanny. I'm gonna keep the house clean. I'm gonna have dinner cooked, right? But I'm not gonna be working 9 to 5 also, or 9 to 9, or have some crazy ass hours with you. And when I come home, I'm only one cleaning and cooking and raising these kids. I think I don't know what happened. Somehow the men of today forgot the fact that like their cheating forefathers were bringing home the bacon.
Cheating forefathers.
Yeah, because that's the thing. So wait, just to go into that real quick. These men are like, excuse me. Guess I have COVID. So if you hear me coughing periodically, it's because I'm dying. Anyway, so I feel like men talk about, you know, in the past, we were also loyal. No, you weren't. The men were not loyal in the past either. They've never been loyal. They may never be loyal. It is what it is. But women had no choice. Like, you know, we couldn't work. We couldn't have bank accounts. We couldn't even inherit our own father's businesses without having a man attached to us, be it marrying our cousins, marrying our brothers, marrying some
white people marry their cousins. Don't even put that on the blacks. Don't put that on us.
Well, we had married some people too. I mean, we had to do other stuff, slavery, other shit. We had a triple double whammy. But our grandmothers, they weren't staying with these men because it was such good relationships. Yeah. It was because where the hell they were going to go? Because on top of being women, they also were Black women. So if they were lucky enough to not be forced to work, I think like during World War II, when like women were not working as a whole, and the white women were like, well, we need Black women to come work for us. And it was like, but women don't work. And they were like, no, the Black ones do. So if you were fortunate enough to be a Black woman who didn't have to work, and you were home with your husband, or you were home with your family, whatever, he could have been a piece of shit. But because you needed that income, you stayed and you cooked and you cleaned and you raised his other kids if you knew about them. So people try and talk about like, you know, women today, they can't cook, they can't clean. Why should I have to? First of all, neither can you. Also, you have no job and you have no money. Why am I bringing home the bacon and cooking it? What is your role in this relationship? Like, I'm confused about it. And then it's like, and they talk about, oh, like, well, who will do for you? I'm like, I'll do for myself. And also, like, I'm fortunate to have a father and have brothers and have like some male friends who just care for me in a way that I'm like, listen, I can't do this for me. My brother takes very good care for me. Shout out to Quizzle. He does. Like, my car, I barely drive my car. He keeps it maintained, changes the brakes. He does my car stuff for me. So it's kind of like, I would lean into a gender role with a man who knew his role, and they do not know their role. They don't know it. They just think just being the man is all the gender role comes with. None of the actual jobs that are assigned with it. So that's my take on gender roles.
Like, you took the words right out of my mouth, because I'm like, how do I really feel about gender roles? I know, there's misogyny, there's misandry, there's sexism, there's all types of fucking shit. And it all leads back to, like, to me, just the hatred of women. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel gender roles, it's literally created to hate fucking women. To me, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you're hating on a whole group of fucking people. Why can't we do what you do? Like, why is there like, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? So you're hating on a specific set of individuals, which women are women. Anyway, I want to lean into what Asia was saying, because I do believe that I would be a good Stepford wife. Like, sure, I don't want to go hunt the pig, kill the pig, make bacon from the pig, and then come home and cook the pig, and then clean up and everything else. Like, what? That makes no sense. Like, it makes no sense. You go get the pig, get the boar, whatever it is, and I'll do the rest. You know what I'm saying? And in today's society, give me that paycheck so I can pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? I can get the bills paid. You don't have to worry about that if you want me to play the part of a woman. You know what I'm saying? I will do it stupendously. I mean, I do it now. I also have to work. So I don't like the fact that I have to fucking work because society says so, or I have to cook. I have to, just like you, Asia, I enjoy cooking, so I do it. I enjoy cleaning. I enjoy a clean house, so I fucking do it. Mm-hmm. But don't tell me that that's my role. You know what I'm saying? And as Caribbean people, and I mean, I'm Guyanese, South American, you are raised to do that. Like, a woman's job is in the kitchen and cleaning the house. Meanwhile, my brothers were outside, like, sweeping up or doing whatever the yard work is. But that's what was instilled in us, that I belong inside. Thus, I know how to cook. My brothers just learned how to cook because they wanted to, not because they had to. They were chased out of the kitchen. Mm-hmm. So this stuff is like instilled in us from the beginning of fucking time, that these gender roles are placed upon us. And like you, Asia, said about your car, I can change tire. I can drive stick shift. However, I want to be a damsel in distress. I will not change my tire. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I will get a freaking manual automatic car. For what? Anyway, somebody jump in, because I get too hot talking about these things. I need to calm down. That's what I need.
I mean, are you hostile about gender roles because you come from a Caribbean household where the lines are so delineated and clear? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Because you came in hot and I was confused.
I was like, I'm so sorry.
No, don't apologize. I was trying to understand it. Like, I'm not trying to, like,
I came in hot and heavy because I'm like, yo, gender roles really pissed me the fuck off. Like, who are you? Like, who the fuck are you? Like, who are you, society, to tell me, like, what I should do and what men should do? And then they don't even do that. Like, they don't even do, like, they don't even play the part of the hunter. But we're gathering this whole fucking thing together and they're not paying. Seriously, like, if you want to go back to that, like, it's fine. I will play the part. But however, you need to step up and play your part as well. I can't be both. Mm-hmm. And don't even get me started on, like, gender roles and how women are supposed to look and the men could just do what the fuck they feel like. You know what I'm saying? No, seriously. Like, we're expected to upkeep ourselves and to be this and to be fit and this and that. And a man, he could just be all, sloppy Joe over there and just be okay and not even making money.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? So
looking like Danny Glover in the fucking color purple, but you gotta look like,
but I gotta look like,
right, like, but you gotta look like Coco Jones or something in her 20s. You're a 45-year-old woman,
because like, he's not gonna want me.
Yeah.
Right. Meanwhile, he over there, like, this is crazy. This is what I see from gender roles, just like sexism and like just hatred for women. So I came in hot because I am sweating. I'm about to 2 seconds away from pulling this wig back because, you know, I can't. I'm like, somebody take over because I could go on, and I start becoming, you know, tongue-tied.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I feel like I don't know. Like, I think for me, yes, you know, it was instilled in me up to a certain age that, you know, I gotta learn how to cook, I gotta clean and all these things like that. But I also feel like after a certain age, I think maybe when I was like 14, 15 or something like that, my parents really kind of laid off on it. And is, you know, like when we all had chores and like had to keep the house clean, it wasn't like, you know, Kim would clean the whole house and that was it. It was like, nah, we're all cleaning the house. Everyone's cleaning. You know, when we had to clean the house, like it'll be, you know, like we're splitting up the different floors or the different bathrooms and things like that. My dad's vacuuming. Like it was never, you know, like just me and my mom cleaning the whole goddamn.
That's great. That's so wonderful.
She's not about
that. In the Caribbean household.
She ain't doing that shit. So even here, like even with living with my boyfriend, like we clean together. We clean the house together. We split whatever chores we got to do. And it's not like something that we had to discuss and talk about. It was just like, this is what we're doing type of thing. He cooks, I cook. Like, I honestly feel like he cooks more than I do. You know, like we split things and it's never no, you know, like, but let there be a bug in this bitch. I ain't killing shit. He's doing it. He's doing it. He's killing it. If, you know, like we gotta, you know, taking out the garbage 9 times out of 10, he's doing that, you know. Anything wrong with if I have to change my tire, he's gonna he's gonna get out, change the tire, you know, do all that stuff. But yeah, we don't really have like, I feel like both of us, you know, his credit to both of our parents because they never raised us in the sense of like we had to assume like these really restricted and like outdated gender roles. It's just like we both want to know how to cook, we both clean, we both like a clean home. But then, you know, when it comes to certain things like going out on dates and stuff like that, 9 times out of 10 he's paying. Like even up to now he's paying,
as he should.
And you know, like I'll do, you know, like my, you know, like, oh babe, you know, we've been out for 2-3 months and I haven't paid for shit, you know, like we gonna pay together, like, or I'll take you out on a date, I'll, you know, we gonna go out today and we're gonna chill and stuff like that. And it's never like, it doesn't feel like, I don't feel forced into doing something like that. It's more like an obligation because I appreciate you and I appreciate all the things that you do. So this is why I'm doing this without me having 9 times out of 10. It's like, I don't have to ask. Like, I don't have to ask to do anything. Like if I'm away, if I go away without him, which is rare, but I'll come home to a clean house. It's not like shit is in disarray just because I wasn't here. And, you know, vice versa. Like, I don't believe in just like certain things just being restricted to, as far as like keeping the house and stuff like that. Bills, we split the bills. I know like that's a whole other different situation for some people, but that's how we do things here. Cause it's like, I feel when we get married, there will be certain things that will change, of course, when it comes to like splitting the bills and like all of these things like that. But right now, we are in this partnership together. So there's a lot of things that I don't have to pay for. The least that we can, you know, that I can do is like, okay, you know, we're going to pay these bills together. Like it is what it is, you know. Yeah, those are my views on gender roles, you know.
You know, Kiyomi, you made it. I was like, you know what? I think I don't want people to think that that's what's happening right now.
Yeah. How you feel? You know?
As he walks down the stairs right now.
He's like, wait, let me set the record straight.
Because this is what that is not. Yeah, that is not what's happening now. It was just an overall how I think, like, you know, men view us. Most men. I'm not saying that, you know, everyone fits the same fucking mold, but that definitely doesn't happen here because I made sure that it doesn't happen here.
Yeah.
My fiance cannot cook. However, he can boil, you know, rice and corned beef and whatever, a meal that I enjoy. So I'll have the occasional meal when he does decide to feel fancy and cook, but the cooking is me. Let's say I'm away on a trip. He knows the biggest pet peeve is coming home to an empty house or a bed not made. I make my bed every day, even if it's just to lay back in it. You know what I mean? Every day. So little things like that, like he knows my, particularness, so he helps with that. But I just think in general, and I have a bunch of friends who are, whose men expect them to do everything, and they don't make any money at all. And I think that's why, like, I just came off so hot and sweaty, because I'm like, let me talk about these ain't shit niggas. But yeah, that's not in this household. I will not. I'm always a damsel in distress. I gotta tell you. I gotta tell you. Always. Like, turn on the light. Like I can't. My feet are broken. I can't even get up from the bed to do it. But like, but yes. I just wanted to clarify. I don't want to put Mr. Martin on blast, and they think that he's, anyway.
Caveman.
Yeah, primitive. Yeah, I don't want to do that, because I'm sure he's gonna listen like, really, what the fuck is this? But
it's like, just keep listening.
I know. Right. I make up for it.
Yeah. Can I say one thing? I'll tie you up from to say. I don't want to go if you're gonna say something.
No, go ahead.
Like, I think it's very important that we, like, I too was talking about the general idea of stereotypes and gender roles, but it's very important for like couples to discuss how you want to show up in your gender role. One of my cousins, my favorite cousin, he was telling me that, like, I don't know if they're still together, whatever. The point is, he was saying, like, when he met her, she had a child or whatever. I think they have a child together. Excuse me. And he was like, he didn't make her get a job. He bought a house and, he did all these things, whatever. And he was like, she don't even clean, whatever. And I was like, well, did you ask her if she liked cleaning before you got together? Or did you ask her, like you assumed that she would just fall into this thing. But have you asked her what she likes to do? Does she like cleaning? Does she like cooking? Yeah, so it's like, and it go back to like what these gender roles are and how we don't have to fall into them today.
Yeah.
If you want to, that's fine, but there has to be a discussion about it. You cannot just assume that a woman, I want to clean or cook. I love a clean house, but I hate cleaning. I hate it. It's an obligation. I like how it looks and how it feels. So it gets done, right? If I lived with a man, I would probably clean for myself.
Yeah.
I can't handle filth. And he would benefit that I hated a dirty house. But if he wanted to clean, like, I'd be like, oh, put my feet up. I'll leave the house. Like, what you need me to go not be here while you clean? Like, what makes it easier for you? But again, these, like, it's I feel like, and we are picking on men because why not? But I feel like men are not having those conversations with their partners. They're just basing this on, like, I don't know, some weird TV show they've seen. And then they're getting on the internet being upset about women this, women that. It's like, have you spoke to a woman before?
The shit that they've seen their mother endure, even though she was overworked, tired, and literally on the brink of a fucking nervous breakdown.
And the word is definitely endure.
And unhappy. Yeah. They were unhappy. Listen, we've all, I think all of us come from not being raised by both of our parents or whatever, or like our parents come from a broken home and stuff like that. But these are things, my mother was cooking every day, like the house was always clean. My dad still cheated. Like, these are not things that keep, but my mom is also like, okay, so you're gonna do this shit. Okay, so now you got to do more at home, and but there are things that she had to endure for the sake of us. She didn't have to, but she thought she did for the sake of us, right? Because she wanted to break that cycle, but it wasn't on the same, he wasn't interested in breaking the cycle. He was just like, oh, okay, this is what men do. This is what is expected. And that's something I feel like it's, again, like what, Aja said, like, it is very important for couples to speak about these things and to like get that shit out the way, because that's how y'all end up in situations or situationships or where you're just unhappy. Like, I wouldn't, like, we probably wouldn't be together if he also didn't clean I'm not cleaning this, and I don't even live in a house. Like I live in an apartment. I'm still not cleaning this bitch by myself. Like I'm not doing that. Right. You know, we both live here. We both walk on these floors. So we both got mop and sweep. Like we do these things. But I think that it should be imperative on both sides. Like, because if men, you want a woman that cooks and cleans and does all that stuff like that, you got to find the woman that cooks and cleans, but also find what she wants from you. Like,
right.
He's cooking and cleaning and you ain't doing shit. Like, come on. Or if you're saying you want to bring home the bacon and she cooks and she cleans, what if she doesn't cook nor clean? Then what's wrong? You know, and the same thing with the women. Like, if you don't cook or clean, but you want the man to bring home all the bacon, where is this happy median that we have to find? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? But you know, I don't know.
Before I turn it over to Ty real quick, because I really want to hear Ty's take. Kioma, it really hit home when you said most of us come from a broken home. My parents have been together for almost 35 to 40 years. One of them. But it seems like, you know, like they weren't together. It seems like my mom was doing all the things that she needed to do. As a, you know, I'm just going to refer to just hunters and gatherers. My father was a hunter back in the day and brought home all the bacon. You know what I'm saying? He's 21 years older than my mom. So he did everything. And she didn't have to do anything in terms of like work, or, you know, if she did work, she would just give all of her paycheck to her mother, which is my grandmother. You know, she did whatever she wanted to do with her money, and he took care of everything. So now, in his ripe age, he doesn't do anything. She does everything. She does the hunting, the gathering, the cleaning. She does everything, and he doesn't do anything. So it's like, what? When are we? Is she indebted to him? You know what I mean? Like, is it like I owe you kind of thing? Like you owe me, so now I do nothing. Where does the gender role happen there? Like what's happening with that? You know what I mean? Like he does nothing. She does everything. Even though he picked up and just went to a whole nother continent just because he felt like it. I mean, what part of the game is that? What part of the roles is that? I mean, y'all still married. So what's happening? You know, she's still taking care of him from here, still taking care of the house and all the bills and the mortgage and everything like that. So how do you go about understanding what her gender roles or their gender roles is about? Like, I don't, like, y'all have any answers for me? Like what's happening? Like, are they broken up? Like, like, no, seriously. Like, I mean, I try to ask them. I ask my mom, like, hey, am I getting a new stepdad, or like, what's happening? And my dad is like right in the room, like, oh my God, what is wrong with this girl? Nothing's wrong with me. I just want to know, like, y'all treat me like the child. I mean, I'm damn near freaking 40, but y'all treat me like a child. So what is going on? What is the general situation happening there? Like, how would y'all describe that? Like, or what should be done? Except the obvious, like her leaving. Like what? No, you guys are laughing.
No, you're delivering it like Monique. I don't know. I don't know. I think I think we said this before when you were like a couple of episodes ago. It's like in marriages, roles change, right? And I think that your mom, what your mom is doing now is something that I recognize because it's the household that I grew up in. So I have a very different idea of what gender roles are. And then I have my ideal of what I want my, my partner, because I don't necessarily feel like I ever need to be married, whatever. That's a bunch of bullshit. But I think that in like long-term relationships and marriages, like things change. And I think that's like, for me personally, sometimes like the societal gender roles, they switch, you know? Now, what you're talking about is from your account, because we don't know the truth because you're a child outside of a relationship and you don't know the intimacies that's going on within that relationship. You just see things. But your account to me, what it sounds like is like, yes, a woman that needs to leave, but also a woman who is now in the role of I'm not going to say the man, but like head of household, like single mom. Basically, she's a single woman and a single mom. And like, whether or not he's here or not, I need some place to live. I have to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to take care of myself regardless. And I recognize that because I grew up in a household of independent women. So when a man comes in, it's like, you do what I say. What I say trumps anything that you say. Because this is my house. I don't give a fuck if you're paying every goddamn bill in here from top to bottom. What I say goes because I don't need you. Because if you leave tomorrow, me and my kids, we're gonna be all right. And that's just the household that I grew up in. And I'm very much that way to this day. And like in the pandemic, I was like leaning into my softness because that is very foreign to me, you know? Accepting help from a man is like, it's kind of like that wall that Trump was trying to build, baby. It ain't never gonna happen for me. Like, you want me to lean? No, I can lean on myself. What do I need you for? Like, so I think what's happening with your mother is like, okay, she kind of like, it's an independent, like she's independent of him. Like, yes, I don't have, like, she's got, like what Asia was saying is like, you benefit from me wanting to have a clean house. You benefit from me wanting to have a home. And she probably keep his cable packages because like when he come home, she don't want to hear his shit. No, but because she don't want to hear his shit. And it's like, for me to protect my peace, whenever you decide to come home, you want your little fucking channels, have your goddamn channels to shut the fuck up and give me my peace and my silence. And that could be it.
Yep.
And what you see as somebody being like docile and being run over, it's like, no, baby, I'd rather pick and choose my battles. And this is not a battle that I fucking need because I've had it for 30 some odd years and I'm here to win the war.
Yeah.
All right.
And
I'll
I think
get it from the okay.
But
but you also can, you know, and I was like having a conversation with a friend because she was like, she wants to know her, you know, I feel like we're all at the age where whatever kind of, I mean, not me, but we're kind of at the age where like, we want to see our parents as friends and we want to know kind of like the things, like basically we're trying to befriend our parents and like really know who they are as like men and women outside of them being our parent, like as a person. And maybe that's what you need to do is like not see her as your mother with the things that you want from a parent, but like talk to her woman to woman and not from the child.
I try. I really do try.
Yeah.
She's just still very guarded when it comes to explaining things, even down to like his sicknesses or whatever. I looked upon as a child, so
yeah,
it's hard for her to break that shell. Like it's really hard for me to get through to her, and I'm the type I just give up, you know. Like I'm still your mom, but I don't, you know, I'm not trying to force you, you know, to speak to me woman to woman. I mean, again, damn near 65, and you're still looking at me like, you know, I'm like I don't know anything, and maybe I don't, but you know, give me a chance.
And sometimes you don't have to come at people, and I know we're kind of veering off, but whatever. But sometimes you don't have to come at people directly, you know? Sometimes you got to come, I don't like coming through the back door. Sometimes you got to come through the side gate or just like peek over the fence right quick. So what you really want to know is like, who are you as a person? And I feel like that's how I found out who my grandmother was as a person and her personal story. Like this woman will tell me stories and be like, how do you know? I'm like, because I asked her. Or she'll just like start telling me a story about like whatever, because I've asked a question that's not directly linked, but like I want to know, you know. And sometimes if you ask, like if I were to ask her like, oh, like grandma, what was it like growing up, you know, what was it like growing up in South Carolina during Jim Crow or some shit like that? She'd be like, girl, nobody got time for that. Like, but they'd be like, oh, like where did y'all live? Like, what kind of house was it? How does it look? Like, so how many rooms did y'all have? Did y'all have to share? Like, there's ways that you go about to ask people things.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah, you don't have to be so intense to be like, give me, you know. And I'm saying that as I had to learn that because I'm a very, well, what men say, aggressive, and I'm like, no, baby, I'm just direct, and you want docile. Because that's what you want, a sweet, quiet woman. And that ain't,
I'll get that
it could
from
be
my
me.
mom.
Huh?
I'm sorry, I'll get that from my dad. Like, he'll just, talk like how your grandmother was talking to my mom. I won't get anything from her at all. I just the other day I gave her, and again, revering, I gave her the Mother's Day present. I want her to open it. She's like, she doesn't want to in front of me. I'm like, I want to see your reaction. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me see what's going on here. And she's like, no, I don't want to. It's and that's only because she doesn't want to show emotion. Like, she doesn't
maybe she hates the way you give gifts.
That's
or maybe
true.
or maybe she grew up in a space. No, or maybe she grew up in a space where she doesn't understand what it's like to like. And it's affection. That's really what it is, right?
Well, I'm trying to break that cycle. Like, ma'am, what is your problem? Anyway.
But you're not her therapist.
All right. Okay.
You're her child. You trying to fix something that you didn't break.
Right.
And you out here.
By it. But it's all right. It's all right.
Right. No. I get the want to, but you're trying to fix something that you didn't break and you don't understand. That shit gonna drive you crazy.
Facts. All right. From here on out.
You just start.
No, it don't.
You should maybe try doing stuff with her that she likes to do, that not necessarily that maybe you don't like to do it, but just like if she likes to,
take her out. No one takes her out. Not even her husband takes her out. We take her out, and she's so happy. Like when she goes out, like the Cinco de Mayo, I'm like, whoa, you really came with all the bells and whistles here. Like, what the hell? Like a poncho and the what do you call it? Sombrero. And the freaking, I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, she gets really excited because she's not used to like people taking her out and showing her affection and stuff like that.
Even if it's like, like if you want to start with your other siblings, like all y'all take her out and then
they complain that she doesn't want to do anything. They can't get through to her. Same. I don't know. I try the hardest.
Take her to brunch.
To have a mommy meetup.
I was gonna
honestly.
Say,
I know.
Excuse me. I feel like my mom and I are actually friends. I always say this because my mom and I grew up, and that's how it is. My mom and I grew up we grew up very unconventional. No, it was unconventional. My mom was a fun parent. Like, I was my father's first kid. His mom was like, okay, well, she's now my child. And my mom was like, okay. My dad was like, okay. So like my parents were just like, in my mind, they're my siblings until I got to like kindergarten. And then like legit, I had to see like a family tree and I was like, teacher, I'm sorry. Apparently you're wrong here because this is my mom. So who's this woman, right? But it did allow me to look at them very differently. I don't know how I saw them as a child. I don't know. But in retrospect, I saw them always as like my friends or as my siblings. Because it was just fun stuff. Like they didn't discipline me. I mean, I didn't need it. I was a very good child, but there was no punishment. There was no discipline. It was like, okay, it's the weekend. Go to my mom's house. We would like go to the movies. We took off every Monday. I didn't go to school every Monday for like a whole year. It was a whole thing. And the school put me in, they put me in this program. And they were like, well, if she comes to school on Mondays or like if she has better attendance, we'll take her into the city, into Manhattan. My mom was like, when she's not at school, we're in Manhattan. So she was, because my mother worked Tuesday through Saturday. So she was like, Monday was her days off. And she was like, so that's the day I take her out of school and we go do things. So I was to say, like, my mom and I are actually friends. And we didn't speak for many years, but like we got past that and now we're cool. And I think, so Ty was saying like in our friendship episode, how you have to like court your friends and you have to court your mother. If you're trying to get a friendship with your mother, you have to court your mother. Like not you and Martin, not you and your siblings. You have to court your mother. Like my mom, I'm like, I call her, hey, let's go out to eat. Let's go drink. Like we go on dates, we go on vacation. Not as my mom. She's like my buddy. Like who can I get drunk with tonight? My mother. right?
Mo well,
right? That's what having fun with. And you have to, if you want her to be more than just your mother or a deeper relationship, treat her as such. Treat her not as like this mother you want to poke and get to the nitty gritty of who she is. Like, treat her as a friend. Because like, if you were trying to be my friend and you're just like, so what was your childhood like? I'd be like, weirdo. I'd be like, this girl Salone is a weirdo. What the hell is weird? But if you're like, oh, let's go out to eat, and then we're just shooting the shit, and you know things get revealed, then that's normal. And actually you have to like look at her different because you are an adult.
Yeah. And
she's not going to see you as an adult if you're still acting like a kid asking questions or as an interviewer.
Sonia, you said something and it just made me think back to what Salone was saying about the gender roles, right? So now so unfortunately you do have to contend with the past, right? It's like with getting to know anybody, they're dealing with shit that you don't even know, but now like you're like, oh, your siblings are like, oh, like we want to take her out, but she's no fun, right? But it's like, has she had space to actually discover herself as a woman outside of being a mother and a wife, like these gender roles? And then it's like, maybe she's closed off because like maybe she thinks that she failed as a woman within the structure of these gender roles of being a mom and a wife, but you know, these quiet things that you don't reveal to anybody, the shit that goes on inside of your head. So you kind of do have to contend with that shit. Mm-hmm. Even though you wasn't the one that broke, like, you know what I mean? If I'm making sense.
No, you're making sense. You're making a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And Asia, I have tried. Oh, let's go out. Let's do this. The only person that really gets her out is Martin. So I don't know if it's gonna happen.
You gotta keep trying. Here's the thing.
But that's exhausting. What the hell?
Listen, but if you want it,
right?
You gotta keep trying.
Then you have to keep trying. That's it. There's no, you know, if you want something, I mean, as we sit here trying to be entertainers, I'm sorry, we are entertainers. As we sit here elevating our entertainment career.
Correct.
We keep trying because we want it.
Yeah. Okay.
If we stop,
when you put it that way.
Yeah, if we stop, we're never going to get it. It's not going to happen. So we have to keep trying. It is what it is. Anything you want, you have to try to get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got it.
That's just what it is.
Well, thank you guys. I don't know how much the charge will be.
I'm gonna cut this whole thing out. I'm gonna cut this entire segment out, so it's fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna Venmo you, so
it's gonna be there's like dead air for like 2 seconds. Then I'm cutting this thing out.
But like boop, and now this was an episode of.
I do wanna touch on. I'm sorry, Kilma, you were saying something.
Oh, I was saying, you know, because we veered off so much, but Ty did mention that she had ideas or goals.
Oh, yes.
About what.
Oh, okay, yeah. So this is what I think about gender roles, right? In my mind, I'll start with my ideal of gender role. Like there are certain things that I don't want to do. Like even if I go out on a date with somebody, I'm never paying. If I'm going to pay, you will never see me again. And it's not because like I want a free meal out of you. Like I'm coming to like genuinely have your company, but there is a certain precedent that that you have to treat me to, right? And unfortunately for men, a lot of men, and especially a lot of vapid men, they equate how much they make with how much they're worth as a human being. And it's like, baby, I'm not here to provide you entertainment services and split the bill 50-50 and I'm absolutely bored, right? So like, I'm never going to pay because that is like the base minimum of what I feel like I should be treated. If you want to take me out, take me out. There are things like I truly want like a Southern gentleman, but like evolved. So like you have to open my fucking doors. You have to pay on dates. I expect the man to pay the rent. I will pay utilities and other things. Like there are certain ways that I will enrich your life that money can't fucking buy you. Like it was so interesting because like I'm gonna go on a tangent. Y'all know I love one. Aisha Hines, the actress, just got married in Grenada, and it was beautiful. And I saw her husband wash her feet, and I said, "That's the kind of service that I want from my man. Like this is it. This show and display." And then the very next slide, the very next story post was her washing his feet. And I said, absolutely not. Are you fucking kidding me? I was like, ew, like ew. But
equals.
Yeah, and that's the thing, that they're very like biblical. She's like, to show that they are in a partnership. I wash your feet, you wash my feet. I am not physically going to wash your feet, but metaphorically, I will wash your fucking feet. Like, so I'm like, I won't do the things that you like people think is conventional of a woman. Like in my mind, I will be the breadwinner no matter what relationship that I will be in. Like I've been fortunate to make good money before the pandemic. Anyway, moving on. So I've always been like, I've been so driven. I'm like, I don't see how I would find, and that's just probably my own shit. I'm like, I'm always going to be the breadwinner. So like, and it's because that was mirrored growing up, you know, my mother worked and my stepfather stayed home for a period, like whatever, for a period of time. My mother did not work and my stepfather worked. My mother did whatever the fuck she wanted. Like, you get a clean house if I feel like it, whatever. But when my mother went to work and my stepfather stayed home, he took care of us. He picked us up from school. He took us out. He made sure that the house was clean. Like he cooked because like my mother would cook every fucking day, like even in the summertime. This bitch is cooking every day. We're having a home cooked meal, mostly because we're poor, but also whatever. She likes to cook. So that's what the precedent was set in that household. So I'm like, yeah, like this is, I don't know. I'm like, I can do so much for myself. So if you step into my life and you come in with like the Kevin Samuels, what does he call it? Antiquity man? What is it?
A high value man.
High value man.
Like, and you think that you're a high value man and you're about to like beat me into submission? Like, men like that, I would eat for lunch. You know? Men like that, I would eat for lunch. Like Jill Scott said, like, you can't tell me what to do until you could tell me what to do. And when you can tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do. And that's just who I am. So it's like coming in, I'm going to tell you what to do until I can no longer tell you what to fucking do. Mm-hmm. But like, I'm not out here taking out my own garbage.
No
At
way.
night. No even way. I had to teach my cousin as a child, like we would for hours. And I mean, we had an incinerator outside the door. We lived in the projects. And I was like, so you want me to go outside and then some crackhead is waiting by the incinerator to rape me. Right. And you want me to get raped because I'm taking out the garbage. That's what you want? Like there are certain things I'm just like not going to do. And I do subscribe to like the societal gender roles. Like you don't have to. It would be nice if you made more money than me, but like, let's be real. Whoever has the more money has more power in a relationship. It just is what it is. Like, even if people be like, no, that's not true. Like there will be a crisis. True. And he would be like, my money. And you'd be like, our money? Yeah. And I guess that's me never wanted to be in a position to like the independent woman. Like you're never going to catch me not on my personal 10 toes down. I'm gonna make sure I'm all right all the time.
I think that's important. Like, I mean, I want to be taken care of. I do, right? But I'm never not gonna have my own. Right. And it may not be money.
That's the important part.
But I'm always gonna have family. I'll always have friends, right? So he may have all the money, and he'd be like, and I'd be like, you know what? You're right. Call my mother. Yeah. Mother, this man, right? So I think like, excuse me. I think it's important. When it comes to like who has money or power, is knowing what power you do have in a relationship. Mm-hmm. It may not be the money, but you have the power to walk away. Mm-hmm. You have the power to be like, I'm not doing this, because that money is nothing compared to I don't care. Mm-hmm. Like if your money means nothing to me, it doesn't matter. And
that's not true though, because the currency doesn't have to be like, the currency doesn't have to also be in money, right? So say if y'all make the same money, right? Mm-hmm. So y'all equal, and you say, I have my family, and then it becomes like you're in a partnership. It's like, who has the most stable family? Who has the ideal like there's always like some kind of like.
But why would it matter though, Ty?
No.
Because it matters to some people. It depends where you're traumatized. Because I have a friend, and they're like, but his family is so strong. It's the thing. that you give up because you feel like there's something, like the partner has something better. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of concede to fall into the societal gender roles, because it's like, oh, well, you come from a good family, you come from a healthy family, so you know what that dynamic is. So let me follow your lead. And now all the fucking balls are in his court or her court or whatever, because you feel like you're lacking in some way.
I feel like we're doing the same thing on different sides. Yeah, I feel like we're. I don't feel like that at all. I feel like our trauma is all showing, but
right, like no, it's not my trauma. I've seen it happen multiple times.
No, what I'm saying, but I feel like that is the trauma, right? Because, like I said, like if I met someone and and you say like he has money and that's the power, right? To him, that's his power, right? But unless I give it to him and say that is your power, it's not his, right?
Oh, okay,
Because my power is, okay, you make the money, but I have a really great support system where if I don't need your money, I want it, I enjoy it, I use it freely, but you can't will that over me. That's how given that power up to you. And I think when it comes to like women, I think women who want to be independent, excuse me, or have this independent mindset, it is about giving up themselves if someone else does for you. No, you can do for me.
That is,
you can do 100. Like I've dated some good guys who they just did for me. They just did. They did without me having to ask. I do want to ask for a lot more stuff now going forward, but I've had a lot of men who I haven't had to ask of things, right? And with me not having to ask and just getting it, I never lost my power. It was like I could do it myself. Like I mentioned, I want a TV, right?
But I want you to do it.
And no. I mean, for me, it's been like I need a new TV, and then my ex got me a TV. I didn't ask for a TV, right? I said in casual conversation, I need a new TV. Mine is too small for my room.
Yeah.
And he brought me a TV.
Yeah.
Who lost anything in that situation? No one.
Right.
I could have bought my own TV.
Yeah.
I didn't have to, unfortunately. I could have, but it's like, I think it has to be like what you're willing, first of all, give up nothing if you don't want to give it up. Maintain your power.
Period.
Also, let that man or that woman, whoever you're dealing with, let them do for you. Yeah. And them doing for you does not affect what you can do for yourself. It never will. If I have no money, but I have family support, I am so rich. Yeah. It doesn't matter. He can have all the money in the world, unless he like kills my family off, and he's obviously a murderer. But like, like him doing for me and him making the rules, as long as it's a rule I like, whatever, I'm not gonna lose my power.
I like rules, but
well, not rules, but like, like if he's like, hey, I like these certain things. If I like them too, if I like, you know what? You agree. But also it's give and take, right?
Right.
Because it is a give and take. I may say, listen, okay, you have all the money, but these are my deal breakers, right? I'm not gonna have, if he's making money, right? I'm not working a 9 to 5 just because you think I should. I'm not. That's my deal breaker. Any man that can support me and himself and our family easily wants me to work, I'm not dealing with him, because it's something else. I'm not dealing with that. That's some psychological stuff where you want to see me struggling. I'm not doing it. But if he says, listen, all I require is that you use your time wisely, you invest in your career, you start a business, like do something, make yourself still be whole person while I make the money and you don't got to make. I'd be like, oh, I could do that. I could make something. So I feel like it's all about what you're going to be your deal breakers, but it's not about giving up your power unless you never had a control of your power in the first place. Like your power shouldn't be so easily taken from you or so easily given up because someone is doing for you.
Yeah, I'm like, I agree with you 100% in that, because I know that my power is and you got money and I don't care. Like that's nothing.
Right.
It's like hot take. It is probably an unpopular opinion, but all of the things that you said about like, men throwing out, that all of us have said about men throwing out money and thinking that is the thing, that is what equates to your worth. These are Harlem niggas, and that's why I hate them, and I've never dated them. And so, if it's one thing I hate, you could ask my man, because he can tell you one thing. I could spot you from a fucking mile away. I hate you. I don't like you, because that's all y'all got. That's all you got. Yeah. That's all you have to offer. And it's obviously, yes, I'm speaking, and whatever. They might be a few of y'all around 125th or whatever, but Generally just know any man that starts the conversation like on a date, like this is what I got, this is how, if you start off being flashy and just like, that's not for me, because I already know what's gonna happen, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like early on that I've learned that I'm gonna be straight, I'm gonna be good, whatever, you know, I'm gonna make it work, but my definite power is, and like, because you can't buy me, so it's like all this money that you're trying to flash around, all that shit is like, those things need to speak for themselves. Like, it's not something that I'm gonna come to you for, like, it's not what's going to attract me to you. So I feel like somewhere down the line, the men of this generation, they feel like that is like what Ty said, like that their bank account equates like their worth, and that's what, you know, they think, you know, fulfills their gender role, and that's just it. Like, okay, I made the money and that's it. Like, and that's not, it doesn't stop there. The buck, pun intended, literally does not stop there. Like, it's not, there's so much more that you need to do. You have to know that you're gonna be, we have children, we have offspring, you're gonna be a hands-on motherfucking father, because I ain't out here struggling. Absolutely not.
And it's not called babysitting. Yeah, and it's not called babysitting your kid. Like, if you are a man and they say, I have to babysit my kid, like,
one of our
old father your children.
One of our old coworkers, he's like, yeah, I'm on baby duty this week, I gotta babysit.
Oh, he did used to say, like, you mean, that's all. I think I said that to him because, like, I kept him in check a lot. I was really his, like, I was a bartender therapist, because I was like, you mean father your children? Like, them your kids.
Yo.
You picking up, you doing your...
That's the gender role right there.
No, it really, yeah.
That's the gender role. He feels like he shouldn't do that.
Okay, and in that relationship, the breadwinner. He was the breadwinner with the solid family. Yeah, like, it's, and I know it sounds wild. I know it sounds wild, because it's like, no, like, I'm not going to give up whatever it is, but it's like, in relationship, currency comes in all different forms, and it's not just money, and it's the wildest shit that you would ever think it to be. Like, it which is probably my trauma of why I'm like, no, you're going to come into my life. And honestly, even with the trash thing, I'm like, yeah, you take out the trash, but honestly, in my heart, I'm going to have a cleaning woman. Like, there are certain things that I'm just not going to do. Like, I want my house very clean. I'm very particular, which is why I don't clean my house often, because it takes literally my heart and soul. Like, it's a day, I'm washing the walls, like, I will literally clean everything. But it's just like, I'm an outsourcer.
Right.
I'm going to elevate your life by letting you know what we can outsource, how we can protect our peace. Like, what, there are other things that we are going to do. But if you think that I am supposed to be barefoot in the kitchen cooking, that ain't it. Now, I can cook down like my grandmother. Will I cook? Probably not. We will be eating out at a restaurant. Like, there's a life, like, I know who I am. I'm coming as a, like, this is like who I am. So if you want some woman that's going to cook every day, like, nigga, that ain't me.
Yo.
Go find her. Go find Clotilda. She gonna do that.
I ain't Clotilda, but I cook
Ashana,
every day.
No, but I'm not. You're not Clotilda, but like, you know, find somebody.
I love it.
Find a like-minded thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm not your good thing. I'm not your good thing. I'm somebody else's good thing. Yeah. But I'm not your good thing. Don't try to beat me.
I think the biggest thing is missing is the like-minded part. People don't want to date like-minded people. I don't know. Well,
they're so in the thing of
it's true. Or like, as your girlfriend, like if you boyfriend and girlfriend, it's like, oh no, I accept all these things, but it's like, but now you're my wife. My wife is supposed to like keep a, and it's like, nigga, when we said I do, did I magically turn into somebody the fuck else? Like, I'm sorry, am I Brandy and Cinderella? Like, what is happening? Like, no. And that's the conversations that people need to have, is like the expectations of like, okay, I'm just your girlfriend. There are things that I'm not going to do.
Ever.
Right. Ever.
Girlfriend, like, wife, partner.
And even like as a like, I am hot, and I know it's my toxic trait. I know it in the core of knowing things. My toxic trait is I am one independent bitch. I am. And I know that. And I know that I be blocking my blessings like Serena be hitting that tennis racket. You know? But like I just find the danger in like giving up certain things. So like submission, like my bank account, like I get the logistics of us having, like if we're married, us having a joint bank account. I get it. We're one team, one mic, one voice. I see too many times of men using the money to control, like there's certain things that I'm like, you're gonna have to be a strong, evolved man to break me down.
See that
you could have
I think you can still, what I say, like when we have our talks and stuff like that, it's never we're gonna join our existing bank accounts. It's like, all right, we're gonna start this together. And
exactly, that's exactly what I was gonna say. You
keep
yours.
We'll input the same amount of money, or if you want to put more, whatever, do your thing, whatever. But we're still gonna have our own money, like independently. Like there's just I don't agree, because I have personally seen where it's just like, okay, I know that I'm like in my parents' relationship when they were together, my mother was the breadwinner, and I just see, and so that's when she had to have her little nest egg and she was like, all right, so this is what's going down. I see you taking all free reign and doing whatever the fuck you feel like doing with, because at the end of the day, like this is what comes into Ty saying, that's where where money is, oh, this is my money. Like I see what you're doing with my money, because I know I'm the one that's putting it in. But I feel like if you put something together, I can see how it can go bad, but this is where you have to talk shit out, and you got to vet your partner, vet this person that you're saying you're going to share your life with, and y'all have the same goals and the same, like-mindedness, as to where who it is that you're marrying, and when you get married or when y'all decide to, be in this partnership, that is not going to change, and that level of trust is built before we take in that dive of getting married and opening a bank account together and all that. There's this certain things I feel like when people do that from the jump, that's kind of wild, or just merging both of your bank accounts together is wild to me. But
I have a question from that, because I'm listening. I hear what y'all saying, but then like, okay, I'm sorry, because I'm like, in my mind, I'm in the future, and I'm like, okay, you guys are together, you're married, y'all put whatever in, right? Because I think my fear in like falling into gender roles is like, how like you know who you are on the inside, and I'm like, I know the force and the power that I am, and like if I get with somebody, I'm not fully the person, because it's like, okay, we get together and I'm cool with like staying at home, cooking, making a home, but then like my career pops off, right? And now I'm Ty Shauna, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't have time to be like at home cooking, and now our agreement of the roles are changed. So now I need you to be a little bit flexible, because now I'm not this like smaller version of myself. So now like, how do we maneuver through that? And I think that's what I seek now. And it's such a hard thing to like look for in a person when you're dating. It's like, okay, are you flexible enough for me to like, for you to rock for a couple of years and you be the breadwinner and you do the thing and I take the back seat. But when it's time for me to do the thing that I know in my stars are coming for me, is that cool? And I think that's why I'm like, I shy away from dating, because I'm like, I don't have the time for you to ask me, nigga, to just be your superwoman. I'm not your superwoman.
Not Karen White.
I am. Even Carol White wasn't Carol White. She said, I'm not your superwoman. I'm not. No.
She did thanks. She said early in the morning.
Right.
It's on your table.
But she realized she got tired of that shit. So she said, I'm not the kind of girl that you can lay down and think that everything is okay. Because, so I think that's, yeah. So as you were saying that, and I was like, no, but then in every relationship, there's a change and people don't pivot. And like, because they're so rooted in these like roles. And it's like we got to pivot, babe. We got to.
And that's the work that you have to do. Like when you're dating, y'all gotta do you have to weed that out. You have to do that. That work. I know, but you have to choose to. Yeah, it's hard, but How you gonna find it if you're not having those conversations like from jump? Like, this is my goals. Yeah, these are my goals.
Easy.
Yeah, these are my goals, and you know what I'm saying? Like what you just explained is so simple. Like, you got it now. I got you later.
I wouldn't say it's simple, but it's because it's simple because you know the type of partnership that you have. You are confident in that. You're trusting in that.
Right.
Work to get there. You have to
yeah, you
gotta work
to. Yeah.
And you gotta put in the work, and you have to have these.
You have to.
Like, because when you see certain things, like for instance, not necessarily going off topic, but kind of, we're watching the show Under the Banner of Heaven. Brilliant show. I think y'all should watch this.
Everybody's telling me to watch that. Yes.
Show. Because it's based on true events or whatever, and it's based on a book. But in this thing, it's based on, you know, like this LDS community, the Latter-day Saints and the Mormonisms or whatever. But in the home, it's very much like the man is like they call them like their priesthood or what the fuck ever. But the man is the man, like none of the women essentially work, or if they work, it's like very small like roles, or you know, like whatever, assuming to the gender roles, like they fall in line with that. Like if the woman works, she's like a news reporter, or you know, like something that's like dainty, like that a woman should do or whatever. But there's a scene in there where, you know, like the man makes this decision and the wife is tight. And she was like, don't forget who's really in charge in this. And she was just like, don't forget who is in charge here. Like, don't be making decisions without talking to me. Don't be making these decisions without, you know, like letting me know, because I will rock this whole shit up and you gonna be tight, like type of thing. So it's like, even a shit like that we assume from outside looking in, like they're just submissive and they're just so, you know, like that. But she was just like, let's backtrack, because somewhere along the line you got shit fucked up. Let me remind you that I am the one that's actually in charge of this bitch. Like, so it's like, you know, and even while watching that, and like there's certain things where it's like the woman, she's at home with the kids all day, like this is what she's doing, she's a housewife.
It's a job.
It is a job. And so
he's a job,
and like he plays with the kid, does all of these things. And you know, like we just see certain situations from either life or, you know, TV and all that stuff like that, where it's like the mom is the one that's with the kids majority of the time, or all of these things. When I see it or when I hear about it, I just turn it down and sort of automatically, like that ain't gonna be me. That ain't gonna be me. You're gonna have your father, son, daughter time, whatever. Y'all, we doing this together because we made these babies together. Like all of these things, like you're gonna be very active in our children's lives. Like it's not gonna be a one-off type of thing. Nah, like we're not doing that, because I have a cousin right now raising both of his kids by himself, dolo by himself.
That goes back to Ty. You got to know who you're choosing. Listen, like you know when you decide to get into
sometimes
these,
you
like,
don't know, because people be putting their, you know what I'm saying, like it's like I get like you have, like you think you, sometimes it's like you think you know. And then
they pull one on you. Yeah, you know, they pull the freaking wool over your eye.
Like personally, like me, like my actual biological father, who I fucks with, like that's my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Is he a good dad? That's my nigga though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
But his intention, his want to be a good dad. You know what I'm saying? It's like lip service. It's like, yo, I love, like, and I don't doubt that he does love me, but it's like, did he give my mother, I mean, he was locked up for many years, so he couldn't give my mother help, but like, even when he was home, could he give my mother the help that she fucking needed as a young mother? No, because I nigga be giving lip service. But does he love me? Hell yeah. Did he take me every weekend? Yeah, and gave me to my grandmother. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I was thinking when you were saying earlier, like if you met someone now and then, like, you know, when the career blows up and things change, like, you know, the shift and whatever. And I was thinking, like, and maybe this is my toxic trait, because I always think I'm here for a good time, not a long time, right? And that's not that I'm a quitter, but it's just like, I don't care. And I mean, I don't care. Like, if we have this great thing going now, and then you cannot pivot in the future, I'm gonna just leave. And because I have a constant exit plan, there's less stress about what's it gonna be like? The be like is I'm gonna leave. And I'm not saying I'm gonna quit day one, right? Like, our first argument, I'm out. But it's like, I'm not gonna be so focused on I have to make this work when it's not working that I'm gonna be afraid to start something that might not work. Mm-hmm. Like failure doesn't bother me. Failure is life. Failure is this that I tried. Mm-hmm. So if I got with someone now and he was great and I became a superstar and he was like, I don't like this, I'd be like, well, we had a good time.
It's been real
time. Like, I remember that time. Let's reminisce. We can still be friends, if it's something cordial, but I feel like, because you never know someone, you never know yourself, it may be that I'm moving, grooving, meet somebody and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to act anymore. I just don't want to. Like, something about you and these kids took precedence. Like, I want to do this. Mm-hmm. So I feel like you can't pick a partner based on where you're going to be in the future, because you have no idea where you're going to be in the future. You have no idea where you're going to be.
Where the fuck I'm going? I know where my north.
Not necessarily where you're going to be with in the future, but I feel like you definitely should pick a partner that have the characteristics that you think would be able, that you believe will be able to pivot. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, yes, we cannot predict what's going to happen, but can I say with
an inkling,
certainty that, if something happens, whatever, in some, fictional problem that arises, that Dennis is going to arise to the occasion, I'm 90% sure that he will.
That's all you got.
But that's all I got at that point.
That's all you got.
I know the characteristics and I know his traits, and we're still learning each other's mannerisms and things, but there are things that I'm confident in and that I trust him with. And I know that if certain things, because he says it all the time, he's like, I would love to be a stay-at-home dad. I would love to do it. So if in whatever future I become a CEO of some shit, my man said, I'll quit. Sure, I'll take care of these kids. I'll keep the house clean.
Right.
There's just things that we have talked about before, whereas it's like, if there's one thing that I think that would help, and that it is what that I would, I guess, recommend, is finding someone that is very comfortable in their sexuality, in who they are as so it's just like, you saying that you're going to be the breadwinner, that doesn't take away from me being a man, or me staying home with my kids doesn't take away from me being a man, or any of you could say whatever the fuck you want. I'm good. I know who the fuck you know what I'm saying? So it's like, on both ends, of course, you should come into things good as either person, but I feel like you are comfortable in your roles, then you should, then the characteristics and all those things that you desire and that you feel, they will be able to, overcome these things with you.
Yeah.
That's because you can't predict, you don't know for certain, but 90% is better than 80%.
0%.
I do want to be, I mean, when I say I want a man to take care of me, it's because I have no money right now, right? And I need finances. I have no money, and I'm pursuing a career that there's no money until there is money.
Yeah.
So if I'm with someone and I'm now making money, I'm Issa Raining it, right? I have money. I just have it. And he has some dead end job he doesn't care about either. And we have a good thing going. I'm not going to be like, you have to now make as much as I make. So go find 2 jobs you hate to make what I make. That's, to me, it makes no sense. Yeah. If I'm making my money in a happy way, then let's spend some money. Let's go on vacation. Hey, I'm going to be on set in Greece. Come through, quit that job. Let's go to Greece, right?
Yeah, what if he quit his job and he wanted to be a drill artist? And he he want to be a rapper. Is that okay now?
This is what I say, right? If I am struggling, right? Right now, no. It's hypocritical because right now I want to be a drill artist, right?
We could do it.
But if I'm established, right, where money is not an option, money is not a problem, it's not. And you have a dream, pursue it, but also be good, right? Don't listen. We're also, because now I'm an established businesswoman. I can see talent. I can see things. To quote Ty, babes.
Baby.
You don't got that talent?
Baby.
And no, we're not gonna just waste life. Sit down, think about what you want to do, think about your other likes and dislikes. No, you have to still be you still have to represent this relationship of two people who are amazing and who want things, that are accomplishing things. Yes. But if I have like Oprah money and he's like, listen, I'm like, I heard the mixtapes. The mixtapes are good. He just needs some studio time, and I can afford it. I'm gonna pay that studio time, but he has to be good. Also, like if I met a man today and he said, "Listen, Sonia, Asia, I will take care of you, but let me see some of your stuff." He's like, I gotta tell you. He's like, behind the scenes is you. You are behind the scenes. But when you get in front of that camera, I'm not connected. I've been like, go on. Go on. Tell me more. He's like, no, I will invest into the business. I will invest in this. I will do what you. He was like, something about you acting, just don't do it for me. I'm like, tell me more, right? Tell me more. Because you have to also be aware of your own talents and your pitfalls.
All right, I'm gonna end it on this note because guys, listen to everything that we said because we did mean it. But then we also have the traps of because I know that Salon, Asia, and I have a friend, and I will show Kioma after this, that the roles are reversed and we are sick, throwing up, crying, sliding down the wall, Summer Walker style, watching her do this. Because we're like, what the fuck are you doing, babe? Stop it. We hate it. We hate it here for you. But it's everything that we just said. So we are fraudulent. I mean, we all have our blind spots. I'll say that,
Yeah, I'll take that too.
Our relationship, I guess our relationship is our relationship, and shut the fuck up. But we have a very solid opinion about that. That's what I was just thinking about. I'm like, we really saying all this cash shit, but we see that shit.
But that's what pontificating
we be sending
is.
it back and forth like, this shit gotta end.
Oh man.
Like, this shit gotta end, baby. But I mean, yeah. This was actually, I was dreading having this conversation because I was like, what the fuck I know about? But I feel like I've come full circle. I've learned some things about myself.
Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
About the things that I'm looking for. About. Yeah, it was really...
One thing this show does is highlight your fucking traumas. Like, wait, what? Like, what happened? One thing we do is highlight our traumas. I'll tell you that much.
That is facts. Because I was like, why do I have these ideas about like this thing's changing? And I was like, oh, because that was mirrored in my household growing up. Like, oh, this is where this idea comes from. You got to pivot.
Saving some money on therapy. You know what I'm saying? We're talking through it.
I'm looking for a new therapist right now. That should be like, oh, why is it so hard?
Difficult. But on that, thank y'all for joining us today. Please comment, leave some voice notes, you know what I'm saying? Let us know how you feel, what you're thinking. Even if you want to, tell us a little bit. Tell us, keep it cute. Keep it cute. We ain't celebrities yet. I'll find you. Don't disrespect me. But thank y'all. Follow us individually, if you want. You see our names linked. But also follow us on Instagram at Pontificating Pod, right? Yes. At Pontificating Pod on Instagram, on TikTok, it's the same thing. And look out for our YouTube videos at